are you going to get people to stop being trans?
I think we're going to tell boys that they're not girls.
So we're going to tell boys that they're not girls, and they're going to listen.
Yeah, basically.
Really?
Yeah, that's what we've done for most of history.
That happened to me, and I can promise you to God that I didn't listen.
Yeah, well, because we live at a time that is affirming the transgender delusion. But if we lived at a more sensible time, probably you would have listened, and you might have had some. And I think we should just return to a more sensible kind of politics.
But what is yours? You're not giving a solution on how you would even be capable of doing
I think I am. I think we kicked the fellas out of the boys' bathroom. We kicked the transgender teaching out of schools. We just enforced the law as it was before 2015.
There was a law prohibiting trans women to go into the women's bathroom, or trans men going into the men's bathroom.
Yeah, it's there in the term women's bathroom.
That's a law.
Yeah, it was a thing. When was these people born? That's kind of crazy that they don't know that. But you see, this is how you brainwash a society. They don't know.
Men can't go in.
That's a law.
Yeah. Yes, there are all sorts of laws against public indecency, for one, against men going into women's sports leagues. There are all sorts of regulations against that, or at least there were until recently. We did not have established in public life transgenderism until very, very recently.
That's not true. That's not true. What about the two-spirited people?
What is the two-spirited people?
In the indigenous community, they are... I don't want to get into semantics, but I know that the fact is that there has always been trans people.
Do you know where the phrase two-spirited came from?
I don't.
It came from the third annual Intertribal Native American First Nations Gay and Lesbian Americans Conference.
Of course it came from some lesbian and gay people.
In 1990. And the woman who coined that term...
I just don't think that that's true.
It's true. The woman who coined that term admitted... Hold on. Let me just finish my point on this. The woman who coined that term, Maya Laramie, admitted somewhat recently that the term two-spirit came to her in a dream in 1990. Now, the Ojibwe Nation actually has translated this term. It's the Nijmani Duwag, but they translated it from the English in 1990.
How you're capable of eradicating an entire percentage of people by setting laws, because people are
I think you're choosing not to hear what I'm saying, because I'm saying we don't want to eradicate any people. We want to eradicate. But the other word is transgenderism, which is an ideology.
It's definitely an ideology. It doesn't exist. It's a made-up thing.
Person. You can't just skip over that fact.
Person, but you're not.
Babe. I'm so secure in myself, and there's other women in this room that are also trans, have been trans for 20 plus years, 7 years, babe, that know exactly what they're doing.
You're confused because it's not possible for a man to become
looking at somebody without knowing their bodily anatomy, knowing anything that's going on with their medical history, anything.
Because I know
nothing about me.
I know the basics of human nature.
You know nothing about me.
I know that you're human. And I know a little bit about human nature. And I know that a boy can't become a girl. So that's what I know.
Does anybody want to take over?
I love how calm the guy was talking to her while she was... I don't know if it's a he or she was interrupting him. But he was composed, no anger, no hatred. Really good posture for this kind of debate. Because these people are crazy. Anyone that's emotional, have feelings, confused, double-minded, they're crazy, just so you know. But this is what happened, right? When in a home, the kids are raised by their mother and they don't have a father in the home. A strong man that seeked after what was right, and he know the will of God, and he was one with God, and in the presence of God, he's able to lead his family and show his wife pure true love, which comes from God, and he passes down to the woman, and the woman able to pass it down to the family, to the kids, But in this case, single mom, even if the dad is in the house, he's not strong enough, the mom raised the kid. When moms raise kids, they grow up as adults and they become oppressors of society, because the female, the mother, pass on her will to those kids. And they grew up to be oppressors, still ruled over by the mother, the spirit of the mother, which is crazy. This is exactly what we're witnessing right now. And she talked about double-minded. I don't know who created that term or what, I don't know the guy name was talking about. But what I do know, when you're double-minded, you're not one with God. You're not in the presence of God, but you're with the presence of the devil. Which means for whatever her mom or dad, him, her, I don't know what they are. Whatever has happened to them as a child when they were young. They went into their mind to survive, and they never came out of it. And in that mind, the devil tempts you. He gives you thought that you think it's yours, and you've identified for so long growing up as a kid, you don't know any difference. So it tells you to do these things, and you think it's you telling yourself to do these things. But it's actually the false you, the false nature that you have identified with for so long. And it gets you to do these crazy things because you listen to thoughts. You can, if you notice throughout the day, in your entire, just watch yourself now throughout the day, how you go unconscious and you see the thoughts rush through your head. Even when you wake up early in the morning, a bunch of thoughts just rush through your head and you think you're the one creating them. But if you're the one creating them, why would your thoughts tell you to do crazy things to yourself? Why would it tell you to unalive yourself? Why would it tell you to kill people? Why would it tell you to rap back? But you think it's you. Unfortunately, it's the nature of the devil that you have identified for so long. But let me know what you think of this video.